So you just found out that your ex is already with someone new. Your stomach drops, your heart races, and you feel like you've been replaced by this newer, better model. Now, before you do anything stupid though, just stop and listen to what I'm about to tell you for a second. So, first of all, it's Max. Today we're gonna talk about one of the most gut wrenching situations after a breakup, which is finding out that your ex has already moved on to someone else. Now, I'm not gonna lie to ya and say that definitively they're rebounding, or that it won't last, or any of that feel good BS. Instead, I'm gonna tell you exactly what this means and, more importantly, what you need to do about it. Because what most people do in this situation practically guarantees they'll never get back with their ex. Now, before we dive deep into this painful reality, I want to remind you that I have a free downloadable cheat sheet, a one page PDF that lays out how to actually rebuild attraction through honesty and self improvement, not through competing with your ex's new partner or playing some dumb jealousy games. The link's in the description below this video. Grab it because I think you're gonna need a solid strategy, especially now. Anyway, my first point is you need to stop telling yourself that it's a rebound. Like, I know everyone's probably telling you it's just a rebound. And that is what you want to hear, right? That it's not serious, that it won't last, as rebounds usually don't. That your ex is just using this other person to maybe get over you. Maybe this is a rebound, maybe it isn't. But here's what you need to understand: it doesn't matter. Whether this new relationship lasts 2 weeks or 2 years, obsessing over its legitimacy will not change anything. Even if it is a rebound, rebounds can turn into real relationships, like I've seen it happen time and time again. And what starts as a distraction becomes genuine connection. And the more you sit there hoping it's gonna fail, the more time you waste not working on yourself. Plus, just think about what you're actually doing. You're putting your life on hold waiting for your ex's relationship to fail. Like, that's not a strategy, that's just sad. You're essentially betting your future happiness on someone else's relationship falling apart. Now, my second point: they already moved on before the breakup. Because here's something that might sting, okay? This is a point that I bring up very often. People don't like it, but it's just a drum that I keep beating because it's really important. At least I feel it is. Your ex did not just suddenly move on. They started actually moving on, the moving on process, while you guys were still together. While you were trying to save the relationship, they were already emotionally very likely checking out. And this new person might not be as new as you think. Maybe they were a coworker your ex started getting close to. Maybe they were someone your ex met online during, I don't know, the last dying months of your relationship, let's say. Maybe they were just someone waiting in the wings, in the background. The point is, your ex had a head start on moving on. They processed the end of their relationship before it actually happened. Again, this isn't a guarantee, but it's very often the case, especially with people who have been dumped, which I assume is most of you guys and gals. So while you're in shock from the breakup, they are already 3 steps ahead in the healing process. So this isn't about them being heartless, by the way. It's about understanding that the person who initiates the breakup almost always has an emotional head start. And by the time they actually leave, they've already done much of the grieving. Now, my third point is that your reaction will determine everything. So, in other words, what you do now will either keep the door open for a potential reconciliation, or it's gonna slam it shut for good. And most people, they slam it shut without ever realizing it. So Here's just a few things you don't want to do. Don't stalk the new person online. I know you want to. You want to compare yourself, find their flaws, understand what they have that you don't. But don't do it, man or lady. Every minute you spend analyzing their Instagram is a minute you're not spending on becoming better. Don't reach out to your ex with some emotional plea about how you're, let's say, meant to be together or how much you miss them. That's also something you really want to avoid. Don't try also to remind them of your history. Don't send them old photos or songs that were, your things, because it all screams desperation. It screams neediness. And for the love of God, don't try to make them jealous by, let's say, immediately dating someone yourself, someone new, right? Your ex will see right through this BS and you'll just end up using some innocent person as emotional band-aid, right? The only winning move here is, and I hate to say this because people hate to hear it, is to do absolutely nothing regarding your ex and their new relationship. Act like it doesn't exist. Not to be petty, but because it genuinely should not affect your actions. And look, use this as fuel, not poison. So, what I'm saying is, you have two choices right now. You can let this whole shit show destroy you, so you spend your days crying, comparing yourself to the new person, imagining your ex sleeping with them, stuff like that, right? Or you can let this kind of wake you up. Like, this is your rock bottom moment, fine. Most of us have been there. Usually we can get through these kind of things, right? In this moment, you get to decide whether you're gonna remain the person who got left for someone else or become someone entirely different. Now, for example, when my ex from a long time ago now started dating someone new just 2 weeks after our breakup, I wanted to die. But instead, I used that rage and that depression and pain kind of as fuel. I started working out more. I worked just in my business more. I became more motivated in my studies and all that stuff. I have just became a better guy, a better person. I used that emotional muck and I channeled it into becoming a better person. And I know it's a little bit of a generalized advice, but I implore you, try this yourself. Don't become obsessed with getting your ex back. You have to rebuild your life without them ever being in the equation if you actually want to, first of all, be happy, but, as a side effect, just be more attractive. And in that way, increase the odds of actually getting back with your ex. But now let's talk chances, okay? This is gonna be my final point because I need to be real with you. Your ex dating someone new, it significantly reduces your chances of getting back together. Not to zero, of course, but it's a major, major complication. They're creating new memories, new bonds, new patterns with someone else. But here's what a lot of people don't understand. Your chances were already low the moment they broke up with you. Okay? Maybe use this as kind of like hope, maybe latch on to this idea, but you didn't lose a lot. This new person doesn't really change that much. If anything, it just makes the reality so much clearer. Your ex chose to leave and they're moving forward with their life. The statistics on getting an ex back when they're seeing someone else new there aren't great. Most resources put it at less than 20%. I would put it even lower. But what has even worse odds? Sitting around waiting for them while doing nothing to improve yourself. Like, your only shot, and it's a long shot, is to become so genuinely different and therefore attractive better that somewhere down the line your ex will notice. Maybe their new relationship fails, maybe they realize the grass isn't really greener on the other side, maybe they see what you've became and they feel that pull again. But none of that happens if you're the same person that they left, just sadder and maybe more desperate. So finding out your ex is with someone new, it feels like, the final nail in the coffin. It feels like you've lost them forever, like you've been replaced and forgotten, and I fucking get it. It's one of the worst feelings in the world. But it's not the end of the world, it's not the end of the story. It's just, put it metaphorically or like poetically, it's a chapter. And you get to decide what happens next. You can either be a victim of the situation, or you can use it as a catalyst for a really cool transformation in your life. So stop focusing on their relationship. If there's one thing you want to you should get out of this video, start focusing on your relationship with yourself. And if you're ready, by the way, to go deeper into this whole reattraction stuff, I lay out my entire system in my reattraction cheat sheet, link in the description below this video. This was Max. Thanks for watching. Take care.